The restaurant was buzzing softly with evening chatter, golden lights reflecting off crystal glasses, and the gentle notes of a piano drifting across the room. Alexander Grant, the billionaire whose name often made headlines for reasons he never cared to read, sat alone at his usual corner table. He preferred this discreet spot, half hidden behind a marble column, far from business partners, charity organizers, or anyone else who wanted a piece of him. Tonight, he wanted silence. A moment without deals, without expectations, without the weight of his father's legacy pressing on his shoulders. He had just lifted his glass of still water when a young waitress approached. She moved with an odd stiffness, as if every step was a negotiation with her nerves. Alexander barely lifted his eyes. He wasn't rude, just used to people treating him like a number rather than a person. She set his plate down, whispered a polite, "Enjoy your meal, sir," and was about to turn when her hand trembled, and something small and folded slipped onto the table. He noticed immediately. A note, not an accidental receipt, not a bill, a deliberately folded piece of paper that she seemed terrified to leave and even more terrified to take back. Their eyes met for the briefest second. Hers were wide, too wide, for someone merely serving dinner. Then she hurried away as if she had just thrown herself into danger. Alexander stared at the note. People didn't give him handwritten things. They emailed, texted, sent proposals through assistants. A handwritten note felt intimate, urgent, human. After a deep breath, he opened it. And then he froze. His throat tightened. His pulse slammed into his ears. The words were few, shaky, rushed, written by someone who expected no second chance. "Please don't react. They're watching me. I need your help. My life is in danger." He read it again, and again. His mind refused to organize the flood of questions. Who was watching? Why him? Was this a prank? A setup? But the lettering, the tremor in the strokes, the terror in her eyes. This was real. His instincts, sharpened by years of brutal business battles and darker family secrets, whispered that something far beyond coincidence was unfolding. He lifted his gaze. The waitress was at another table now, forcing a smile, moving with fragile precision. But Alexander noticed what others couldn't. Her hands weren't just shaking, they were bruised. Her wrists peeked from under her sleeves, marked like she'd tried to hide them and failed. The air in the room seemed to thicken. Should he call security? The police? Stand up now. No. She had written, "Don't react." He swallowed hard and forced himself to appear calm. He pretended to check his phone while looking around. Nothing seemed unusual at first. Couples dining, businessmen laughing too loudly, a family celebrating someone's birthday. But then he saw him. A man at the bar. Sitting alone. Not drinking. Not talking. Only watching the waitress. Every move she made, his eyes followed. Alexander felt his stomach twist. The man wasn't a guest. He was a shadow waiting for a signal. The billionaire laid his phone face down, thinking fast. If the waitress truly believed her life was in danger, giving a note to a stranger, especially a public figure, was a desperate gamble. Why him? Why tonight? He signaled discreetly to another waiter, ordering nothing more than tea he didn't want, just to create a distraction. As the waiter walked away, Alexander slipped the note into his pocket. His mind raced through possibilities. Kidnapping, trafficking, blackmail, abusive partner. The marks on her wrists told a story even the note didn't. Minutes passed painfully slowly. When the waitress returned to refill his glass, her smile didn't reach her eyes. Her voice was soft, steady, rehearsed. "Is everything to your liking, sir?" Alexander looked straight into her eyes, searching for a cue, a signal, anything. But the fear there was so heavy it felt like a scream muffled behind glass. "You can leave the bottle," he said calmly, giving her an excuse to come back later if she needed to. She placed it down, but her hand lingered. For less than a second, her fingertip brushed the table beside his in a silent plea. "Help me." When she walked away, the man at the bar stood. Alexander's heartbeat spiked. It was time to move. Standing too early would draw attention. Leaving too late would be dangerous. He waited until the man began walking toward the kitchen, toward her. Then Alexander rose casually, smoothing his jacket, and headed in the same direction, but through a different route. The restaurant's architecture worked in his favor. A hallway connected the restroom area to the kitchen door. If he timed it right, he could intercept her, or at least see what was happening. He placed himself near the hallway's corner. Voices echoed. The man's harsh tone slashed through the soft kitchen noises. "Where is it, Emily? Emily." Her name. I didn't take anything," she whispered. "Don't lie to me. You had it when we came in. You think I wouldn't notice?" Alexander clenched his fists. This wasn't about the note. This was something else. Something bigger. Something she had taken. Something he wanted back. He leaned closer. "I swear, I don't have it," she breathed. A sound followed. Sharp, cruel, silent to everyone except someone standing this close. A hit. A small gasp. Alexander's jaw tightened, but her next words shattered him. "Please, he'll kill my brother if I don't bring it back. I don't know where it went. Maybe I dropped it. Just give me until tonight." The man hissed something too low to hear, and then heavy footsteps moved away. Alexander backed up just in time, pretending to check his phone as the man exited the hallway and returned to the dining area. When the coast was clear, Alexander stepped into the kitchen. A few chefs looked up, startled. This was off limits, but he raised a hand. "I'm here for Emily," he said firmly, using his most commanding tone, the one people didn't dare challenge. She was wiping her face near the back counter. Her hands shook. When she saw him, her eyes widened with horror. "You shouldn't be here," she whispered. "Please go. If he sees you." "I'm not going anywhere," Alexander said quietly. "What's going on? Who is that man? What does he want from you?" Emily swallowed, her throat bobbing. "You need to leave. I shouldn't have given you the note. I don't even know why I did. I panicked. I'm sorry. You asked me for help." His voice softened. "Don't apologize for surviving." A tear fell. She tried to hide it. "He took my brother 3 days ago. He said he'd let him go when I gave back what I supposedly stole. But I didn't steal anything. I swear, I don't even know what he's talking about. Why threaten you? Why your brother? He works for him," she whispered. Until he found something he wasn't supposed to see. "I think they're trying to pin it on me. To make him give up whatever he discovered." Her eyes darted toward the door. "Please, if you stay here, he'll suspect something. He's dangerous. You have to pretend none of this happened." "What did your brother find?" "I don't know," she said. "But he managed to get a message to me before they grabbed him. Said he left a clue in my apartment. I haven't been able to go back. He's watching me every second." Alexander stepped closer. "You need to leave with me." "No," she said instantly. "If I disappear, he'll kill him. And if you stay, he'll kill you. Both." Her breath hitched. She looked like a trapped animal, cornered, trembling, praying for a miracle she didn't believe in. "Emily," Alexander said gently, "I have resources he can't even imagine. I can protect you. I can protect your brother. But only if you trust me." "How can I?" she whispered. "I don't even know you. You knew enough to slip me that note." She covered her face with her hands. "I shouldn't have involved you." He lowered her hands slowly. "You're not alone anymore." For a moment, she just stared at him. This stranger she had begged for help in a moment of desperation. A billionaire who could have walked away. Who could have dismissed her. But instead, he was standing in a cramped kitchen, offering her the one thing she had run out of: hope. Suddenly, the door swung open. A chef yelled, "Emily. Table 12 needs." Before he could finish, the man from the bar stepped inside. Emily went pale. Alexander straightened, switching to the cold, unreadable mask that had won him countless business wars. The man's eyes narrowed at the sight of Alexander. "Everything all right here?" Emily forced a smile that trembled. "Yes, just an order mix-up." Alexander said nothing. "Not yet." The man stepped closer, trying to assert dominance. "Sir, this area is for staff only." Alexander slipped effortlessly into his billionaire persona. "And do you think the owner of this restaurant would ask me to leave his kitchen?" The man's jaw tightened. He hadn't expected that. After a tense silence, Emily quickly intervened. "I'll handle the rest of the shift. Please, both of you, go." The man studied Alexander for a moment longer, suspicion flickering in his eyes, before turning and walking out. Emily exhaled shakily. "You see," she whispered, "he already suspects." "All the more reason not to stay here," Alexander replied. I can't leave during my shift. I'm not asking you to. He slipped a card into her pocket. She flinched. What's this? A safe address. Memorize it. Burn the card. Go there after your shift. I'll make sure you get there safely. Her lips trembled. If he follows me, he won't. How can you be sure? Alexander leaned slightly closer, his voice low, steady, and terrifyingly calm. Because by the time your shift ends, he won't be following anyone. She blinked. What does that mean? It means, Alexander whispered, you're not the only one being watched tonight. For the first time, a flicker of relief crossed her face. But beneath it, a larger storm brewed, a storm that neither of them could yet see. A truth far more dangerous than an abusive handler or a criminal syndicate. Because what Emily's brother had discovered was tied to something far bigger, something that would soon pull Alexander into the darkest labyrinth of power and corruption he had ever faced. And the note she had slipped him was only the beginning.